Hey folks, and welcome to Quick Reviews, the show where we quickly talk and score the games that we've played this month. I'm Globku, here with Vegetas and Warak. Guys, where do you want to start?
Where do you want to start? I don't know, maybe from the beginning.
From the beginning. First game that I played was Gravity Rush 2.
Oh, right. What do you have to say?
I don't think it's a good game.
Drop the bomb. What?
It's a good game if you like to fall in different directions.
That's right. The first one also had that unique gravity mechanic, and it's still unique on Gravity Rush 2, but I don't think they did much with it. Like, honestly, the first game, I had a problem with it, which was the combat. It was very, very clunky. And in the second one, now developing for PlayStation 4, like all that clunkiness is still there. It's not as repetitive. They do give you a couple more options in combat, but none of it feels particularly good. The strongest point about the first Gravity Rush, I think, were the characters and sort of the world lore, and I really liked that back then. And I think Gravity Rush 2 introduces some really strong characters at the beginning, and then doesn't really do anything with them.
Okay.
Like, kind of drops them. It's almost telling, like, two different stories. The first half of the game tells one story. The second half of the game, you're transported into another world and it tells a different story. And then at the end, it sort of connects the two of them in a way that it doesn't really explain and sort of sets up the next game. You know?
Oh, okay. So you have to, if you had to choose like 2 good points and 2 bad points, what would those be?
I would say they still have some very strong characters. They definitely expanded the roster of abilities that you have, and the gravity mechanic is still very unique. The bad points, I think the whole game just feels sort of clunky. None of the combat feels good. And then really bad level design, I would say.
Okay.
Like, they have a new photo mode where they hand you a photo and then you have to find that photo in the world. Like, you can ask people to point you to the right direction, and 1 in each 50 people will say, go that way. Like, why is that even a mechanic?
I've seen that. I played a little bit with them and I saw those mechanics. I think it looks fun. You know, for the first time when you grab the game and start playing, it looks fun. But yeah, as you told us, it didn't feel repetitive.
It felt a little bit repetitive, not too much. It felt boring most of all. Like, it wasn't like the mission structure was having you doing the same things over and over. It was more like the mission structure was playing to the weakest parts of the game. Like, they have a stealth system because of the gravity mechanics. You can sort of shift gravity to a wall and avoid detection that way. But none of it feels very good. It's really hard to tell when you're going to be spotted by enemies, and sometimes they spot you at a short distance, as they're supposed to, and sometimes they spot you at a really far away distance.
I thought a game that you can grab people and throw at them at other people wouldn't be boring.
That's my favorite part. Like, you can grab people in the stasis field and attack other people.
How can you make that boring?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Well, maybe just get tired of throwing people at other people.
Yeah, I didn't like the mission design. The boss fights in that game were very, very bad. It's still clunky as hell. The camera is still all over the place. I don't think it's a good game.
So what would be your score on this?
So not a good game. That means it's below B. I wouldn't say it's a bad game. I would say it's sort of in the middle. I would give it a D, probably. Every time.
I was not saying anything.
You would give the D every time.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, what have you played?
What have you played, Warwick?
I played a really, really wonderful game. It's a game about nature and building puzzles in nature. It's Resident Evil 5.
How much did you play, first of all?
I played a little bit. We actually made a video about it.
Yeah.
I got to Daddy, Chan. And
Daddy got to you.
And it's a good, scary game. And when it scares me, I think it doesn't take a lot to scare me,
right.
But that game did a good job on doing that.
We've played, I think, all the great horror games of modern times, like Amnesia, Alien Isolation, Outlast. We've done all of those. How do you think this compares?
So in this game, you can actually sometimes defend yourself.
Right.
So, and Amnesia, you cannot defend yourself. It's different kind of fear. And another thing, I'm still in the office, playing the office. And I know there's people in the other room, and still I got scared. I don't know if I could play this alone in my house.
I think it's kind of the whole point.
You're a chicken.
Don't say that.
I played it alone in my house. I actually got past that point. I'm like 2 bosses ahead of you or something. I really like the fact that it's almost a throwback to classic Resident Evil. You're playing in a mansion. You have these oddly shaped keys to open doors, and you gotta solve these puzzles that feel very classic in a way.
Oh, I'm sure they grabbed a lot of stuff from other games. I'm pretty sure.
I think so too.
It's a nice
Yeah.
throwback to the original Resident Evil, but with a nice coding, like modern coding.
I remember playing Outlast with you, and Outlast did a really good job on jump scares.
And this one has a couple.
Yeah, this one.
You're usually like kind of like Amnesia. You're usually like hiding away from a guy that you can't defeat.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen as often as you would expect. Like it's really all about the ambience, and I just feel uncomfortable walking around in that place.
In that place, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm intrigued by the story so far. I haven't finished it yet.
And they make the characters really. They make you fear those characters. Those
I think
characters are
that
fucking
all of them
insane.
are really unique. The feel game that I saw is like really cool. You know all the characters just by looking at them.
Yeah.
You just don't mess up.
Very memorable. Yeah, very memorable enemies.
When I was sat on that table and I saw those characters, I don't know if they're gonna show more, but those characters are.
Definitely.
I think it's really cool. I think they've done it this time and left off that Michael Bay stuff on Resident Evil 6.
Yeah.
I liked the way they used Mia to give you mixed feelings when you like fighting Mia, and then Mia turns, now I'm gonna kill all of them.
That's the way
like
you coping with the game. It's like that. That's how you get introduced to the game too, so you can have like a bonding with the character.
Yeah, that's a very strong opening for sure. So, what would you score it based on your experience so far?
7. I'll give you a 7.
What?
Seven.
No, we have our own rank.
What is the rank?
Okay, so first you think, is it good game, bad game, or mediocre?
It's a good game.
Okay, so it's either a B or an A.
Oh, okay.
Or if it's like something that is revolutionizing the genre, something like that will blow your mind, you can blow up the scale and give it an S.
It does not blow my mind.
Blows your heart.
Yeah, but I cannot like give you a B plus. I'm just gonna give you like a B, A, or S, right?
Yeah, B-A-O-S.
I'm gonna give you a B. Just because you know.
You're playing defensive? You don't know how it ends?
Exactly.
Okay.
I just played. Not only that game comes from a long line of scary games for these past years. So
Right.
they have a lot. They had a lot of content to look at and just.
Okay. I did hear that the game falls apart a bit at the end, but I've also heard that the game's a lot better in VR, which we haven't tried.
Okay.
I would love.
you
love
wouldn't.
to try that in VR.
No,
I don't
you
care.
You would break my PlayStation VR system.
No.
Because I know you're not going to buy one, so... All right, that's a B. Up next, what did you play?
I played Yakuza. Yakuza 0, which is a prequel to every other episode in the series. I thought the game was really good. I mean, it's not an outstanding game. It's like an open world with action stages. You have a lot to do on that game. I mean, you have that Shenmue feeling, which you told about.
Definitely.
And maybe that's because it's AM2. The thing is, like, you have a lot of things to do on the open world. Like, you can go to the arcades, you can visit shops. Just like every other open world game, you have stuff to do.
Unlike every other open world game, you can't steal any cars.
You can't steal any cars. That's right.
You have to run everywhere.
Have to run
And
everywhere.
there's a sprint button. Well, the map is not crazy big.
Yeah, no, it's not like a huge issue on that end.
So the map is. It's not
contained.
real that big.
It's contained.
It's contained.
Yeah, but
You don't leave that zone in the entire game
It's big enough for walking distances, you know?
for walking distance.
No, you can take cabs if you don't really want to walk that.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, while you're walking on the street, you can enter some building where the story progresses, and then it transforms itself into an action stage. You kind of imagine you have to climb up a building while beating up thousands of thugs while you get to the boss, and that kind of gave me a sense of nostalgia for me on that on the arcade brawlers where you just fight like 10, 12 enemies at the same time. And I'm really liking the story so far. I mean, I haven't finished the game yet, but it's kind of compelling. It's really serious, and I don't know if that's a positive or not. For me, it's a positive because I really like goofy stuff. But after you take out that full-fledged story, you just have a goofy game where you just beat everyone up with power-ups, where you can grab like really heavy stuff to punch like 2 or 3 guys at the same time. You grab like a marble table.
Let's just grab this table. I don't have to
And
punch these
it
guys.
just picks it up like nothing It's really cool. It's really fun, and that really feels arcadey to me.
Does the game take itself seriously?
On the story, yes. On the gameplay, no.
Yeah,
not at all.
It's a weird thing. Like it tells a really serious story that I'm into. Like I'm into that opening.
I remember you played with him. You tried
a little bit, like, but
I think the characters are kind of compelling.
And I like the goofiness of the gameplay. I just don't see like the mission structure evolving much beyond beat up a bunch of dudes.
That's one of the complaints about the game. It's like the mission structure is kind of repetitive. You just enter the
beat up guys,
and there's the boss.
There's a little bit of story, and then you're gonna be more.
There's
guys.
a lot.
Well, there's not a little bit of story. Like this is one of those games that you're gonna sit down for 20 minutes to watch a cutscene. Yeah, it's a long cutscene.
I'm okay with that. As long as the cutscenes are good, of course. As long as it doesn't get boring.
Yeah.
But for some people that can be a nuisance, like the fact that it gets repetitive. You can have like different fighting styles. You have the rush mode, brawler mode. I haven't unlocked any other fighting styles yet. But yeah, the repetitive missions can be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I'm not sold on it yet because I think that combat system is not compelling enough to have all the missions be that, you know.
Sure.
That's the main thing.
And there's the quick time events also.
Right. Yeah. In Yakuza's case, I feel like I'm trying to get through the gameplay while not enjoying it as much because I want to know more about the story. Like it's that compelling, I think. And I think it kind of falls apart a little bit on the gameplay side. But what would you score it?
I would rate a B out of this. Like you have a lot of stuff to do. And like I said, like the brawling system it's not a huge nuisance for me. It's cool. I'm really enjoying it. It has a good story, has a lot of other things to do on the open world, like the karaoke thing, and the arcade machines are really cool. It's a fun game. I'm really having fun with this. So yeah, B.
The final game we have today is Rise and Shine from the new studio from former Team 17 and who's the Plants vs Zombies?
The PopCap.
PopCap.
I didn't get to see the game. You play the game, at least.
Yeah, like it has a really neat style to it. Some mechanics that you definitely recognize from those games, like you can shoot a bullet that you then can guide. You know, sort of like a Worms thing. It's a game that is very self-aware. It knows it's a video game. It takes place on Game Earth.
Game Earth.
Yeah. And it's right at the beginning. There's this hero who dies and gives you the gun. That's called Shine, and the gun gives you the powers to respawn infinitely. So
okay.
Yeah, so it's very self-aware that way. It has a lot of gaming references throughout, and it's that sort of stuff that you're either into it or you're not.
Or you're not, yeah.
But I think because it had so many of them, even if you didn't like one reference, there was another one waiting to happen, and the game already moved on. I like the sense of humor.
The only thing I didn't like was there were too many references. Like being a guy that probably gets most of them. Like getting bombarded with all those references all back to back. It's sometimes it gets kind of messy, and
it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me at all.
Like I said, it's just I don't like that much humor concentrated on one side. I mean, you could space it out for me, but it's fine. I mean, I guess it comes to taste.
I think that game feels really good. Shooting enemies feels really good. Watching their heads pop out or exploding robots. Like the shooting, just the act of shooting something is really well done in that game.
So the gameplay in general it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I love the boss design. Like every time there's a boss fight, it's something new and creative. It's awesome, but it's just too short.
It's too short?
Yeah, like
for the price?
A 90-minute game.
For the price?
It was $15, which I might, for 90 minutes, it might be too much. The other bad thing about the game is that with a controller, the difficulty felt appropriate and accurate. With mouse and keyboard, it gives you a reticle on the screen, so you can aim your shots like with incredible precision. And the game just became too easy at that point.
Oh, wow.
So I would recommend playing with a controller if you like the challenge.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why would they change the playstyle like so much?
I guess because you have a mouse and you have to see where you point it instead of just moving your stick.
You need to know where you are. Basically, that's the whole point.
I really like that everything about that game. Every time it showed me some new level with some new gimmick or a new boss fight, I was really into it. I just wish there was more of it. Like this was gonna be an easy A if it was like 3 hours, 4 hours long. So that's a B for me.
It's a B.
Yeah.
Oh man, we have Lots of Bs.
I would score Resident Evil an A, but it's,
I would also score it an A.
Yeah.
I need to play more in order
Quark
to.
said, I don't know the ending. I would like to see
right,
how
but
the,
so far, based on our experience,
so I would totally give it an A.
yeah, like
I want to see how the lore ties up with the rest of the games. I know it ties up for some reason, but I wasn't
well, thanks for
looking
spoiling that, motherfucker.
I didn't listen to everything.
Oh no,
I was not
I
listening.
just read
so.
it. Kind of connects. I don't know how.
Okay,
Umbrella make the virus. People turn
makes
into
virus.
zombies. That's the lore.
yeah, there's a vaccine somewhere.
I think that's movies. But whatever.
Who knows at this point? So thanks for watching, folks. We might start doing this more often.
Yeah.
This was a lot of games to cover in a single episode, so maybe like every 2 weeks we get together and talk.
Yeah, maybe. Games.
I'm so excited for 2 weeks from now because
For Honor.
For Honor is coming out.
Oh, you mean you're not spending Valentine's Day with your wife?
No.
Thanks for watching, folks. Leave us a like, leave us a comment on what you think about those games, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Peace out. Bye.
Vegetas, make me a new end screen.